What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. I definitely apologize for that vibration. My phone usually doesn't go off. I don't even know what that was about. But people are calling, for Chicago mayor to resign. There's been a lot going on. It's been a minute actually since I touched down with even going over, into, these videos with, the Chicago mayor, Brandon Johnson. What he says is completely outrageous about, the past events that had happened over, I would say, just this weekend alone. Obviously, I'm going to let y'all know how much it was, alone in 2026, but just over the weekend. Pretty wild. Check it out right here.
Let me be absolutely clear. Remember when we had multiple arrests at a gathering, and then another gathering happened the following week? If we believe that we can arrest our way towards safety, we're wrong. We ask police officers to do too much. Let me be absolutely.
This man said we ask police officers to do too much. So, mind you, what he's trying to do is he's trying to obviously pull away officers. It's almost like they want it bad. That's almost what it's like. They want it bad there. Because there's no way individual says this, a mayor at that. But to have him say this, he says, we had a gathering, and then it's another gathering. Man, let me tell y'all something. Just like, and I ain't going to say that Indianapolis is any type of good, because it's not at all. But there are things that not only Indianapolis and, these other cities do. They put out curfews. They also put out more so of shutting down things, whether it's events, whether it's any, because they know how bad it will get. Surprisingly, some events here, well, I live on the outskirts of Indianapolis, but some events, Indianapolis or around Indianapolis, knock on wood, it's gotten a little better. But there are a lot of events that happen, and they know that it'll get bad. It's almost of knowing, like, he should know his city. He should know what's going on. And I feel like within Chicago, it's truly sickening and it's truly bad. I'll tell you that much. You got it right here. Got 5 cops were intentionally hit last night. This is May 23rd, on a Saturday, in Little Village. Said that now if basically it would be a whole different story if those cops were to pull out their weapons. It definitely would. And you have Mayor Brandon Johnson that's saying we can't arrest our way to public safety. So when you literally having police officers that are risking their lives and really, I ain't gonna say can't do much about it, but in a way can't do much about it, because you literally have a mayor and that's basically do nothing. And it's truly sickening. Check it out.
5 Chicago police officers were hurt after they were struck by a driver. It happened near Roosevelt and Loomis in Little Italy neighborhood. We're told the officers were on foot dispersing a large gathering at the time. The driver, an 18-year-old man, was taken into custody and charges are pending. At last check, all the officers were inside.
So is moral to that. Not only did that happen, you literally have, and this is, again, over the weekend, 21 people shot. It's over the weekend alone. 21. That's horrible, y'all. Like, that is horrible. Mind you, this was posted May 24th, so Sunday morning. So let's say this is 2 days worth. 2 days worth of 21 people shot, including children across Chicago. It was a mass shooting, and then 5 police officers, hospitalized. I'm telling y'all, it is bad. It is truly bad in Chicago. Check it out.
Officers say around 3 in the morning, that's when they were in the area near 25th and Washington, and that's when they did hear gunshots. Officers say they did find those 4 victims. Among those who were shot include an 18-year-old, 2 16-year-old girls, and a 14-year-old boy. They were all taken to Mount Sinai Hospital, where they are currently being treated. It's still unclear what exactly led up to the shooting, and at the scene, there was lots of debris and also trash scattered on the ground. Officers could also be seen escorting 2 people in handcuffs. It's unclear if they are facing any charges. Now, investigators say the shooter ran away from the scene. Police are asking the public to come forward with any information.
Pretty crazy. You literally have right here the Chicago teams, basically Chicago teams. This is about these team takeovers. So let me tell y'all this. Within these team takeovers, I truly don't get. This is something that's new to me. I would say it's new to me because back then when I would hang out with my cousins, my friends, and stuff like that, even on late nights, we would go chill downtown, and if we weren't chilling downtown, we'd go skating. We'd go to the bowling alley. We go out to dinner. Or if it's late night, we'll go to a Waffle House or go to a Denny's. What they're doing now is completely different. I'm not gonna lie, and I ain't no saint. Like, I'm not saying you go through those things of I ain't gonna say too much, but you go to those things, just being a kid. You doing certain things, but what they're doing, I'm telling y'all, is definitely different. It's way different than what we used to do. Way different. So this stuff is definitely new to me seeing this. You do have those car takeovers, street car takeovers and stuff like that. But team takeovers, I ain't gonna say this is the first time I heard because I didn't heard recently about it, but this is definitely new to me. It says large violent youth gatherings that have ended in basically shootings. City Council passed a snap curfew and says giving police the power to break them up. His alternative of what he's saying is more summer jobs and fun activities. Just listen to this right here.
So I just really feel like we should focus more on giving them things to do in the summertime and stuff like that to keep them busy to where they don't have to feel like they got to plan team takeovers to have fun.
Any questions being
I would say I really don't know much about curfews because I wasn't one of those teens who would be outside for real. Like, I wasn't raised for that. But one thing I would say is that I wouldn't think that it would, because some people home, we trying to escape home. Teens try to escape home. So I feel like a curfew, it might belittle that, because while you trying to keep someone in the house, they could be with a safe spaces organization.
So
let me tell y'all something. Within fun activities, okay, so let me put it this way, because I ain't gonna say that I'm like crazy young. I'm 28, but just seeing of how teens act. I have little cousins. You don't really want that either. There's more other things that you can do, and it's moving away from the violence. I feel like there's more things that they need to set for. You have so many people that are influenced by other things that Mayor Brandon Johnson is letting go on, and that's what I find pretty crazy about all of it. Having summer jobs, that's one thing. You have summer jobs within having that curfew, nothing late. Oh, I'm about to get off work, because summer jobs could also mean somebody working at a pool, somebody working at a skating, something that they're making. There's multiple things. There's multiple things that can lead to going back out and hanging out, is what I'm saying. Fun activities. Even if I feel like these kids have changed a lot. These kids have changed a lot to where even if you have these activities that's going on, they stay out late and things get worse. Excuse me. Allergies. I went out fishing again today, y'all. That stuff leads to worse things happening, them going out at night, or I feel like it's one of those things. Worry about the crime that's going on. These older individuals and the things that's going on around Chicago when it comes to illegal aliens, when it comes down to the crime that's going down, all these shootings that's happening, because they're seeing all of that. And you become a product of your environment. That's just that. And y'all know I'm gonna just be real. And that's not, too much of always the case, but a lot of times it is. I'm not making up an excuse for them. But at the same time, people have to look at the simple fact that, and he has to look at the simple fact that this is something that I know is not gonna work. This is I look at this as it being more of an excuse to get out and do the same thing, if that makes sense. And I feel like there needs to be more so of a change when it comes down to the Marines, when it comes down to National Guard, to get that stuff figured out and situated first, rather than throwing this in there. And they talking about summer jobs and other fun activities that individuals can do. This is just more so of, let's make this look good and sound good for everybody, that we're going to have summer jobs and fun activities, and then they're going to be still doing the same thing. That's honestly what I'm seeing. Truly crazy. You literally have it right here. Says, and I want to make sure I got this right. Says, crime in Chicago 2026 so far. So you have more so of the people unalived, which is 152. Shooting incidents is 483. Robberies, over 1,500. Aggravated battery, over 2,400. Burglaries, over 1,800. Thefts, you have, almost 21,000. Motor vehicle thefts, almost 6,500. And it's truly, truly, truly crazy. Truly crazy on what's going on. You literally have J.B. Pritzker and posted and put, keep Chicago out of your mouth, because President Trump even said, within 3 months, Chicago will be a different place within sending the National Guard. Check it out.
Starting, and I thought this was a good time. I'm going to be doing that very shortly.
Mr. President, have you put any thought into potentially endorsing someone to run against J.B. Pritzker, like Darren Bailey or...
Well, I like Darren Bailey. J.B. Pritzker's a slob of a governor. He could call me and I'd send the National Guard, and Chicago would have no crime. Look at Washington, D.C. Did you see the crime stats? It's down to like nothing. People go to restaurants now, new restaurants. Restaurants are all being closed in Washington. Now they're building new restaurants. It's a hot city. We have a beautiful city. We have very little crime, almost no crime. And we could have the same thing in Chicago. All he'd have to do is say, President, I don't want to have any crime in Chicago. Can you help me? Within 3 months, Chicago would be a different place.
What about the mayor, Brandon?
Within 3 months.
What can I say? He's so bad. He's so bad.
Mr. President, you're going to Lawler's.
Voting starting.
I'm telling y'all, pretty wild. Definitely pretty wild. You literally have here, and it's definitely sad on just not only these teen takeovers and this, that, and the other, but you literally have Brandon Johnson. You got Brandon Johnson. Remember how I told you about illegals and this, that, and the other? There's more things that's happening. You have Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. People are asking him to resign because of how he took, the whole Sheridan Gorman. What happened to Sheridan Gorman. Basically told Sheridan Gorman's family, honestly, to, just go on about y'all business. And he will continue fighting ICE despite her being unalived by illegal. And it's truly sickening. Check out what he says.
Did you reconsider rescheduling this event given the Sheridan Gorman by an undocumented immigrant?
Well, look, as I've said before, my condolences to the family of Sheridan. This is a terrible tragedy. And what I've said from the very beginning, I'm going to continue to use every single tool that's available to me to protect the residents of the city of Chicago. And this tragedy It's not going to deter us from our work. In fact, it's going to challenge us all to double down on our efforts to ensure that we are protecting every single individual across neighborhoods. And look,
Did you reconsider?
Truly crazy. I'll tell you that. And it's truly sad, just the simple fact of how he's treating this whole situation. It's definitely a sad situation that somebody obviously isn't taking it serious. Nothing serious at that. Like, literally nothing. That whole list that I just named out. Literally nothing. You literally have here, which is, somebody that, obviously they talk about, individual that, they wish bad things upon. You have this individual that truly gets talked about in a bad way. And he's the one that is making sure things are right within this country. Not only that, you have Sheridan Gorman's family. President Trump brought him out, and, let them speak. And I didn't watch this whole video, but just seeing this message, seeing this text that's out on here, when Nick Soder's post, just goes to show you that so many people are getting really sick and tired of individuals like Brandon Johnson that is allowing these things to happen. Check it out.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have to say, you are just so funny. My family has laughed more, smiled more than we have, in the past hour, than we have since March 19th. It's been such a gift. Thank you.
Hi, sorry, we prepared some words. But first, I just want to thank President Trump and Michael Lawler and all of the legislators that believe and protect and are champions for our American children. My name is Jessica Gorman, and Mother's Day was just 2 weeks ago. For most mothers, it meant flowers and cards and phone calls or children coming home. For me, it was heartache and tears. Because on March 19th, my beautiful daughter, Sheridan Grace Gorman, was murdered in cold blood. She was walking on a pier in Chicago with her friends. Just a few blocks from her campus, they were hoping to see the northern lights over the Chicago city nightline. Sheridan never got to see those lights. Instead, her life was stolen by a man who should have never been in this country, a man who should have never been set free in that community. And every step, the system had a chance to stop him. And at every step, it failed. And my daughter paid for those failures with her life. No mother should ever have to wonder if her child called out for her in her final moments. No mother should ever have to imagine her baby lying alone and bleeding on the cold pavement. And no family should ever have to bury a child because public officials failed to put innocent American lives first. Sorry. To the mothers of New York, to the mothers of Chicago, Rockland County, and our own beloved Westchester County, and all across this nation who have reached out, who've cried with us and prayed for us and stood with us. I just want to thank you from the bottom of every piece of my broken heart. I see you, I hear you, and I need you to please hear me. Remember Sheridan's face, remember her light, remember the life she should have lived, and then stand with us, not only in grief, but in action. Forget political party. Vote with your heart. Support leaders like President Trump, like Michael Lawler. please, please support leaders and policies that protect your child and mine.
Come on now.
Because a city and a state or a country that does not protect its children has lost its way. And together, we must be brave enough to demand that it find its way back. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Beautiful family, too. I'm not going to lie. Crazy thing is, when I first seen them, I literally, I was like, dang, this is a beautiful family. You know, it's truly a beautiful family, and to have a lost loved one, you know, just having that happen. If I'm not mistaken, he was there, you know, obviously, for college, and it's definitely sad. You know, it's definitely sad that they even have to go through this. I truly look at the simple fact that people don't pay attention. I feel like so many people look at social media. They don't, and look at these fake headlines and look at things that don't matter rather than looking at what actually matters. And that's what she said at, you know, the end. Please support leaders and policies that protect your child and mine. I feel like that's one of the nicest things, the greatest things an individual could say. And I say that because, first of all, people always say, you know, they are the future. You know, it's within everything within these policies. It's not just, you know, when it comes down to legal aliens, it's everything when it comes down to these policies and what's going on and what's, you know, the support of the leaders, you know, people that actually pay attention. Y'all just seen that Mayor Brennan Johnson isn't doing anything about it. He doesn't care. He doesn't even care that those teams are having takeovers and this and that. He doesn't care at all. And it truly shows, and it's truly sickening. I'm telling y'all. It's truly sickening. I showed y'all, you know, the video of President Trump literally saying that, you know, he would change it in 3 months, which is definitely reasonable. It's not only reasonable, but it will happen. You know, it definitely will happen with having a National Guard there, but it's like they want it to be bad. Not only Chicago, but she mentioned New York. The same places. People actually have to realize, lock in, and see what's going down. You know, with a lot, because I feel like so many people see these fake things that's going on. They see these fake things that's going on, and they're not paying attention like they need to. They rather listen to friends, look at the little stories, Instagram stories, and look at the little TikTok post of all the fakeness rather than actually seeing on what's truly going on. You literally have here Danielle Carter. Y'all can go check out Danielle Carter on X. People are wanting her to be the new mayor for multiple reasons. They're saying, you know, they would rather have a safe city with safe streets and neighborhoods. Danielle Carter is, in fact, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, a Trump supporter. You know, and not only that, she does more so of paying attention. Let's not even put the simple fact that she supports Trump. She cares. She's in the street. She cares. She's talking to people. She's speaking real. Y'all just got to go check her out. I'm sure most of y'all know who, you know, Danielle Carter is. But one thing about it, my first time actually listening to her and calling out Brandon Johnson, because there's multiple videos of her doing it, calling him out to his face. I'm telling y'all. Definitely go. You know, I don't know how many people from the Chicago area, you know, watches me. If y'all, you know, I have people literally. So pretty cool if some of y'all, you know, comment. I know some of y'all are from, you know, that area, and some of y'all, you know, live. So just let me know what y'all think about this, and try my best, you know, to obviously, you know, get back to y'all. You know, and comment. I've been trying my best to do that, but things have been a little challenging, I should say, because my days can get a little full. And I know a lot of y'all don't like when y'all hear about my outside life out of YouTube, but I've been doing a lot of fishing. It definitely calms my nerves. It calms me down. It focuses me, and a lot of times I lose track of time. I'm not gonna lie. So sometimes, like I said in previous videos, that if y'all are catching me and y'all see that it's a late drop, 10, 11 o'clock at night, it's probably because I've been fishing all day. I'm not even gonna lie. And I lost track of time. And when I say that I lose track of time, I literally be like, oh, I'd be out here for about an hour or two. It'll be about 6, 7 hours. Yeah. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.